In this video, I'm going to walk you through a clear blueprint for correct score trading, even if you're a beginner, and you don't need to watch the match and you don't need to predict the final score. Yes, that is correct. You don't even need to predict the final score. And I'm going to back everything up with real trading examples taken directly from the betting exchange so you can see exactly how it works. Go grab a nice cold beer or a glass of Pinot Noir and let's get into it. So when you're trading the correct score market on Betfair, you're typically going to open the trade by choosing a cluster of correct scores to back. And this is known as your target score formula, your TSF. So if you wanted to go with the home favourite, you could typically back 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 2-1 and 3-1 in favour of that home favourite. You're not just going to back one correct score and hope for the best. You're going to back a cluster of scores, and we're going to trade those scores as the goals go in. That's the idea behind correct score trading. It's vastly different from just having a bet on the correct score market. However, with picking out our target score formula like we have here, football is inconveniently unpredictable. So what we need is a plan A and a plan B, and we're going to incorporate that plan A and plan B into our target score formula. So we're not predicting a score. We're basically saying if the favorite does what we expect, we have a plan A worked into our target score formula. If the game resists, we've got a plan B. And the best way of looking at it that many people will like, plan A is our primary plan, plan B is insurance. So with that in mind, our plan A and plan B, if we wanted to go in favor of, say, the home favourite, might start to look a little bit something like this. We might cover 2-0, 2-1 and 3-0 in favour of the favourite, and then also cover 1-1 and 0-1 as our plan B. This way we can look to profit if everything goes to plan, the favourite controls the game, and if they control the game, they're probably inevitably going to end up on these scores. If the favourite doesn't quite control the game, the underdog looks good, we might start looking at these scores. And of course, it's going to be dependent on the teams we're getting involved in. So don't just look at this target score formula and take it for gospel. Every match, you're going to have to work out its own target score formula. So that is the idea behind the plan A and plan B. Now, the idea is this can allow you to profit even if you get it wrong. So if we look at a match, we're expecting the favorite to dominate. We stack our target score formula in favor of that favorite, but the underdog wins or something else goes crazy wrong. We could still potentially profit. We also have the chance to exit if we get it wrong. We can also break even if we get it wrong. So incorporating the plan B, as said, it's like insurance. And the best part is the top one. We can still profit even if we do get it wrong. And there's lots of examples of that on our channel for you to check out. This can also allow us to trade the correct score market just by following the data with no real need to watch the match. We can just follow the XG data, knowing we've got our plan B and our plan A. We can follow the numbers, follow the data, act accordingly. And as said, we could exit, we could break even, we could even still profit, even if we've called it totally wrong. Now, as said, it's all about your target score formula. Today, we use AI to pick out our target score formula because you've got to look at a match, you've got to crunch a lot of numbers, you've got to look at the recent scores, etc., etc. It's much easier just to get AI to do it, and we use the football trading Genie to pick out the target score formula. And remember, it's been trained on everything that we've just mentioned, and it's given us a target score formula for us to trade on, not necessarily to try and predict the final score. And the best part is the football trading Genie will incorporate the plan A and the plan B for you. So anyway, we're going to dive into that right now. We're going to do some real life trading demonstrations. We're going to get the football trading Genie to give us our plan A and our plan B. Then we're going to trade it following the data, following the numbers in the real market. Let's get into that right now. But before we do, it would be really, really great if you could smash the like button to support the channel. If you click the like button and you like videos and subjects like this, you're going to get more videos like this in your algorithm, in your suggested videos. So it's actually going to help you out a lot to click that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you do really, really, really like it. Anyway, let's dive in to these demonstrations right now, and I think it's all going to make a lot more sense for you.
We're going to be trading Man United against Man City. We're going to trade the correct score market. So you can see Man City are favourites for this one. And looking at this correct score market, it's, well, bit of a jungle. So anyway, we're going to turn to the football trading Genie. We're going to turn to AI to give us a target score formula for this one. Let's see what it can build out. It's going to obviously crunch all the numbers, all the recent statistics, all the goal timings to give us an idea. And it's going for a pretty high scoring one. 1-2, 0-2, 1-1, 1-3, and 2-3. So that's interesting. And I mean we've seen this recently with it throwing out these 3-2 score lines. And there was a couple of trades where I said I prefer 2-2 instead of 2-3. Possibly I might do that again. Let me have a look. Let me have a look at the market and get set up. So we're all set up, and I did do it. I went slightly against the Genie on this one. I went for the 2-2 instead of the 2-3. Now, obviously, you still have the opportunity. Maybe I could have covered 2-2 and 2-3, but I wanted to have a good amount of green on both of them, so it was making it a little bit tricky to do that. And we want to try and keep the trade simple. But anyway, look, I've covered the scores. The 0-2, the 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 2-2. It's all swinging in favour of Manchester City. Didn't cover the 2-3, even though it's a pretty nice price on it, but I just feel if we're going to get to the 2-3, potentially we will be maybe on a 2-2 or on a 3-1 first, and we could trade from that point and then put the green on the 2-3. Okay, look, maybe I'm overcomplicating it. Maybe we should just dive into the match and you can see it for yourself. So it's Man United against Man City, just about to kick off. So at half time, it's Man United 0, Man City 0. So a bit of a slow burner, and we're going to need 2 goals in the second half to hit any of our target scores. So we're going to start to deploy a bit of a plan B, which is potentially a damage limitation. So we're going to lay off we're going to go full liability against the 0-0, but we're going to put in an order at 4. So it's like placing a lay order in the future. That should get taken maybe around the 55th, 60th minute. And once that's taken, if we get the goal after that, our overall liability on this trade is much, much lower. And just 1 goal will make all the difference, okay? So as said, with correct score trading, we often don't enter with our full stake. We enter with maybe half of our stake or 60% or something like that. And then you only deploy it in situations like this that call for it. But anyway, here we are, 0-0 at half time. We've got the lay order in the market. Let's see what the second half brings. The deadlock has been broken in this one. Man United 1, Man City 0, which is a bit of a surprise. So anyway, what we can do, we're on the 1-0. We've obviously lowered our risk on this one. We've got green on 1-1. We've got nothing on the 2-0. And look, with the underdog winning, this is definitely one of those times where we can be aggressive and then we can go in again, okay? Full liability on this 0-1 score. So let me just adjust it. We don't want to get our liability higher than 200. And yeah, we could just get that in. So we're going to go full liability on this. Now, the good news is that if Man United score again, this goes down to just a mere £1 loss on this. The 1-1 now, which was one of our target scores, the profit's been bumped up to 175. So the next goal means everything in this match. Let's see what happens. It's Man United 1, Man City 0. We just had another goal in this one. It's 2-0. 2-0 to Man United, and we are, well, our decision to go full liability against that 1-0 has been absolutely vindicated. 2-0 to Man United means that we're now just looking at just a mere £1 loss on this, should it remain 2-0. We've still got 2-2 alive, and maybe my decision to go for that 2-2 could still look like a good decision in hindsight. But as it stands, this is, yeah, it's going to be pretty much a break-even trade, but still a good example of what can happen when we're trading the correct score market. As said, we're going to have our target score formula to enter the market, and in this case, we've got it totally wrong. I've got it wrong. The football trading Genie's got it wrong. Man United are going to win this, going to win it comfortably also. Or at least they are winning it comfortably so far, 78 minutes. But the great thing about trading the correct score market, we still managed to get out of this without taking any sort of loss, or maybe just taking the £1 loss. But I'll accept that when we get it completely wrong, like we have in this. Anyway, still time on the clock. Let's see what happens. Man United 2, Man City 0. Deep in injury time. There's just been another goal in this one, and it does look, I do believe, pending a VAR check, but it's going to be Man United 3, Man City 0. So, yeah, we were way off. We were absolutely way off. And just looking at the XG for this game, it's an absolutely dominant performance from Man United. And this price on 3-0 to Man United was up at 120 at one point, just at half time. So anyway, yeah. Well, actually, no. It's gone back to being 2-0. So that was chalked off. Okay, all right. Anyway, look, it doesn't really matter, does it? We're not going to be making a profit on this one, but we're not going to be taking a loss. Okay, let's have a look at the 2-0. And just see what that score was at the start. So it was priced at around 40. So yeah, very interesting match. In the end, it's going to be a break even for us, but as I said earlier on, it's a very good example of how you can trade the correct score market. You can pick out your target scores and you can get it completely wrong like we have, and still end up just breaking even or just taking a mere £1 loss for those who want to nitpick. So anyway, this match is done. It's Man United 2, Man City 0. I'm pretty sure that's the score. So here we are, Arsenal versus Brentford from the Premier League. Obviously expecting an Arsenal win, but let's see what the Genie's coming up with this one for the target score formula. And you can see here 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. So expecting an Arsenal win, maybe not hitting 3-0. And the plan B is a 1-1, which is about right. I mean, if you can't really see Arsenal losing this. And if they are going to drop points, probably a 1-1, isn't it? So anyway, that's the plan B. Let's head over to the market and let me show you the correct score market here. We're all set up. I've covered the score lines that were suggested. I've Dutched the score lines here, okay? So a £100 stake is going to give us an even green of £80 on every outcome, apart from the 2-1 apparently. But anyway, doesn't matter. Let's see what happens in play. It's Arsenal against Brentford from the Premier League. So half time, it's Arsenal 1, Brentford 0. It's going according to plan, but we're looking at the XG numbers that have been plugged in. Arsenal winning, it's not too convincing though, surprisingly, and current projected match result is a draw. We don't have any goals overdue just yet, but let me just show you. We're on a green scoreline at the moment, so we could use a bit of that green and just put this down to 0, just to lay off some of the risk. The next goal, it puts us on a green scoreline regardless, okay? So let's just put this in. We'll put the 1-0 down to 0. Next goal, whether it's a 1-1 or a 2-0, potentially at that point, we might have to exit out of the market, especially if it is a 2-0. But anyway, that's the action we're going to take. Arsenal 1, Brentford 0 at half-time. Let's see what happens in the second half. 91 minutes on the clock. Arsenal have just doubled the lead. Saka has just, well, I say he's put the ball in the net. I mean, the ball's just barely crossed the line. But anyway, the goal counts. So that puts us on 2-0. We don't have any further green on a 3-0. So this would be the time to just take the profits. And there's, what, 6 minutes added on. So you could go in with just some sort of further lay on this, not sacrificing too much of your green. And if there's a bonus goal later on, maybe Arsenal get a third or something that puts you in a nice position. But overall, we're going to make a nice return on this one. 2-0 Arsenal, £73 on the 2-0 score, and it's kind of played out exactly as everything was forecast. Let's look at the XG data. And so just updated the XG here. I didn't update the correct score. So Arsenal were overdue a goal for a while. It's a comfortable home win. Now we put the 2-0 in, and now we are exactly where the XG forecasts us to be with the home win. And there's not really any further action we should take on this one. And so we go back to the market, and we're pretty much where everything should be. Okay, we got the pre-match forecast, cover the 2-0 score. We also covered that 1-0. So even if Saka didn't score just then we wouldn't be taking any loss on this one. And everything has played out exactly as predicted. So Arsenal 2, Brentford 0. We're out with a profit, but most importantly, you've seen how we're using the AI combined with the XG to make the data-driven trades. We're out. Arsenal 2, Brentford 0.
So hopefully you're getting more of an idea of the whole concept of incorporating plan A and plan B into your target formula structure. The Arsenal example, one of those matches where, look, we didn't need the plan B. It was smooth sailing. We just followed the data. But again, a good example, not having to watch the match, not having to sweat it or work out just how good each team is. We could just follow the data and trade accordingly. The Man United match, a good example of needing that plan B and having to trade our way out of trouble in that particular match because we got that way wrong, didn't we? And that will happen. As said, football is inconveniently unpredictable for us as football traders. But anyway, if you're interested in implementing AI into your own football trading, then the tool we're using is the Football Trading Genie. And if you want to get a full demo of it or further info, click the link in the description or scan that QR code that is on the screen right now. So get your phone out, scan it, and there should be a full demo available or more, okay? Depending on the availability, you might be able to get your hands on it and start trading with the Genie today. Okay, scan the QR code, click that link that is in the description of the video. Anyway, let's dive in. We got more live trading examples from the Betfair exchange.
We're going to be trading Tottenham versus West Ham from the Premier League, and we're going to be trading the correct score market, and we're going to be using AI to basically give us the target score formula. And we've got to be quick. It's just about to kick off in this one. So let's have a look. It's going to give us crunch all the numbers. And it's given us 2-1, 2-0, 3-1, 1-1 and 0-1 in favour of Tottenham, obviously. Anyway, let me head over and get set up. So we got set up in a nick of time. It's literally just kicked off. So anyway, look, 1-1, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1 covered. And then that 0-1 in favour of West Ham as our plan B scenario. So anyway, let's see what happens. As you can see, just kicked off. We'll give you more updates as this one develops. Half time, it's Tottenham 0. West Ham 1. So the 1-0 to West Ham is part of our plan B, and we're actually on that score at half time. So that is good news. That is good news. Obviously, the bad news is we've favoured Tottenham. We've obviously now lost our 2-0 score, but we're on this 0-1, and we've got this as part of the plan B. So what we can do, we can leverage this green and pretty much look to move our liability. So I'm going to look to move the liability onto that 1-0 score. So remember we've got £100 liability in the market, and I might have to move it up a bit higher. The prices are drifting. We just want to get this done on this clip. All right, let's put it in. We'll put it in there. So anyway, yes, the thinking is we're going to move our liability. We entered this trade with a £100 liability. We're not going to go full liability just yet. We will just move the liability on that 0-1 to West Ham. So worst case scenario now is a 1-0 win to West Ham. Any goal, if it's to West Ham, we get our overall loss down to £34 on this trade, and we just say goodnight to it, really, because obviously we've called it drastically wrong. But if we get back on the 1-1, we're back in business, because also we have the 2-1 and the 1-1 is green also. So that's what we're looking for here. Oh yeah, we've also got the 3-1. Forgot about that. So if we do get back on the 1-1, that's our most ideal scenario. That's where we're going to probably start to look to make a profit. But if it does go 2-0 West Ham, we've minimised our loss. Let's see what happens in the second half. Tottenham 0, West Ham 1. 64 minutes and we're back on track. It's Tottenham 1, West Ham 1. We're on the green 1-1 scoreline. So do remember we moved our liability onto that 0-1. We're now on the 1-1 score. And so I mean, look, just to show you, we could take a profit. I mean, what's going on here? Possible red card. Anyway, hopefully it comes back shortly. But yes, when it does come back, it will show you there is a profit of around £74 that we could potentially lock in on this. But remember, we still got 2-1 and 3-1 covered in favour of Tottenham. So I'm not sure what happened there. Was it a red card? Anyway, I don't know. Look, so yeah, look, we've got £34 of liability in the market. Let's try and take that out, and let me quickly see what the price should be. Okay, so 2.8. We'll put in a lay order of 2.8. Get rid of that £34 of risk, and then just leave some green on that 1-1 if it does remain a 1-1 deadlock. But as you can see, if we can aim for the 2-1. to Tottenham, the 3-1 to Tottenham. So anyway, that lay order's in. Obviously, you can see the markets are bouncing around, and there's all sorts going on. Still no news on whether that was a red card or what was going on there. But anyway, all right, that's taken. So now you can see it clearly. All the risk is out of the market. It's £72 of green on the 1-1, 192 on the 2-1, 320 on the 3-1. So you can see we can ladder up pretty nicely if Tottenham can pull this off. Okay, if West Ham score, then we're going to be break even. But the important thing is we're not going to take a loss on this one. Tottenham 1, West Ham 1. You're not going to believe this. We've just had another goal. We've had a goal deep into injury time, and the goal has gone. It's gone to West Ham. If we just look at the match odds market, it hasn't yet updated on the Betfair interface, which is pretty typical. But this goal has gone to West Ham. It looks like they have won it very, very late. Now, that is obviously not very good news for our correct score trade. Now, we were, and I was expecting to come on here and say, well, yeah, 1-1 final score, but at least we've made the £72 of profit. When I did hear the goal notification, I did think, well, there you go. We've landed a much bigger profit on the 2-1 to Tottenham. But it's gone to West Ham, which puts us in a break-even situation. So we've gone from making a profit in this one to making absolutely nothing. So you might look at that, and some people might say, well, that's not very good. It's not very good trading, is it? Well, I still believe we were making the right decision, leaving it on the 1-1, going in favour of the Tottenham win. The most important thing being that we didn't actually take a loss on it. So it's not like we were risking money to try and make this profit on the 2-1 target score. And do keep in mind, remember, we've entered the match 2-1, 3-1, 1-1. These are our target scores. And there wasn't really any reason to pivot. West Ham, it's a smash and grab. That's football. The most important thing is we protected our downside, and we will break even. We won't take any loss on this one. And just another thing to point out, the cash out is offering you to lock in a minus £2, which doesn't make sense at all. We're going to break even on this. As said, absolute smash and grab. Tottenham 1, West Ham 2. Getting very close to kickoff on this one. Early evening kickoff, Stuttgart against Frankfurt. Plug this into the football trading Genie, and you can see the target score formula that it's coming up with after looking at all the recent correct scores from both the teams. And some interesting ones here. 2-1, 2-0, 1-1, but then also a 3-1 and a 3-2, which is interesting. Let me show you how we've set that up. So I've gone with split staking on this one rather than Dutching it. Now, it's definitely interesting, partly because I think if I was picking out these scores, I'll probably skip the 1-1 and go for a 2-2. If I'm going to have a 3-2, I probably would want a 2-2 covered more than the 1-1. But anyway, we're obviously trying out the football trading Genie, so we're not quite going to go with my overrule on this one. But it will be interesting to see how it plays out. Stuttgart against Frankfurt just about to kick off. We'll give you more updates in play. Just reached half time. It's Stuttgart 2, Frankfurt 1. So a goal-filled first half, which isn't actually what we ideally want when you're trading a correct score market. You don't typically want 3 goals in the first half. It can make things quite tricky, depending on the scores you've backed, obviously. Now, you can see we're in a positive position, actually. So, look, we're on the 2-1, which is a green score. We've obviously lost 1-1. We've lost the 2-0. So, we're now remaining with the 2-1, 3-1, and 3-2. So this is good. The price to lay off the 2-1, 7.2, not too good. So if we do get another goal early in that second half, and especially if that goal was to make it 2-2, then we're in a bit of a world of trouble with this particular trade. And when you're trading the correct score market, it's kind of like a chess match. You always have to think 1 or 2 goals ahead. So you've got to think, if there is a goal right now, does that put us in a better position? It won't, and I'll show you why. Because this price on the 2-1, which is currently 6.8, 3-1 is going to go up from 5.2 up to 6.8, so that's not good. And potentially the 2-2, which is currently 3-2, we've got a 7.6, 2-2's there at 9.8. That's going to go up also. Okay, any goal. So a goal very soon isn't great. Now, if we do get a goal late on to make it 3-1, That's much better. But we do have to consider what could happen in the opening stages of the second half. So I did try and look at the XG to try and see if that can give us any more clues on what we should potentially do next. But it's not looking great. It's the match is outperforming the XG, but the current projected match result is a draw. We don't have that 2-2 covered, and I did say that right at the start of the trade that I probably, if it was me picking out these correct scores, I probably would have covered the 2-2 more than the 1-1. Okay, I'm not blaming the Genie for anything because obviously none of us can predict the future. But I do believe the writing's on the wall for this trade. We should just collect the profit and move on. There's way too many questions, and we're just going to make life hard for ourselves by trying to stay in. Okay, so no shame in taking a profit. Not quite the type of profit we're looking for, but we're backed into the corner a little bit, and we'll just collect the £32 of profit. But anyway, I mean, the football trading Genie, it's led us down the correct path. It's led us down the correct angle. It did say to back these higher scores. Just a bit of a tricky one with the timing of it. Also, like I said, I do think 2-2 being covered would have been better than 1-1. And of course, don't get me wrong, we still had the option to cover the 2-2 instead of the 1-1 and overrule the Genie. You can, of course, do that. But anyway, no real regrets on this one. We're going to walk away with a £32 profit, and we will look for a better match to trade after this. So we're going to be using AI to help us trade this match with Coventry against Leicester from the English Championship, and we're going to be using AI to help us trade the correct score market on this one. So a bit of a jungle, and we want the AI to pick out a nice target score formula for this match. So we just go to the football trading Genie, click on the correct score trading prompt, and we're going to get a good idea now of what the target score formula is going to be. And so yeah, in favour of Coventry. No huge surprise. Coventry obviously odds-on favourites for this one. So 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 1-1, and then a 0-1. So it's incorporating a plan A and a plan B. So anyway, let's get set up. So we're all set up now, and I've gone for the scores that we suggested, and I've decided to Dutch it. So we're Dutching it for an even amount of green on each of these scores, and obviously we will be trading during the match. Just to be clear, for anyone who's new, this is trading. We're not just having a straight bet on these. We're going to be trading off these scores, and we obviously can potentially make a profit even if we don't hit our target scores. That's the point of trading. Anyway, let's see what happens. Coventry against Leicester just about to kick off. So half time here, it's Coventry 0, Leicester 1. So covering the 0-1 to Leicester as part of our plan B is looking like this is going to help us out. So obviously we're on this 1-0 to Leicester. We are now looking at a scenario of it potentially, best case, going to 1-1 and then a 2-1 to Coventry. We obviously don't have 0-2 covered, 0-3. So this match is going to be potentially going against us unless we're going to start to be aggressive and take some action against it. So anyway, look, we've got £100 worth of liability in the market, but we're going to move that £100 of liability onto just the 1-0. And by doing that, you will see that it will lower the overall liability should our worst case scenario of the 2-0 Leicester transpire, but also puts more green on our most likely case scenario of the match going to 1-1 in the second half. So anyway, this is the move to make. As mentioned with target score formulas, you've got your plan A, you've got your plan B. We are in plan B mode right now, which is often damage limitation. But anyway, we've still got some upside. Let's see what happens. Coventry 0, Leicester 1 at half-time. 49 minutes, as expected, Coventry have equalised. It's Coventry 1, Leicester 1. So remember, we moved our liability onto the 0-1. We're now on the 1-1, which gives us some green to play with. And we're going to position ourselves to try and go for Coventry to go 2-1 ahead. And we're going to lay off this 1-0 down to 0, or down to close to 0, okay? And the main reason for that, if Leicester do score again, it's going to make our loss pretty minimal, £29 loss, but it's going to put more green on that target score. Our target score is the 2-1, and ideally, if we're going to hit that 2-1, I'd like to hit it late on. But anyway, let's see what happens. It's Coventry 1, Leicester 1, and hold on. Let's just move this up so this is taken. Just so everyone Okay, that's taken now. Okay, there you go. Okay, that's our position. Worst case scenario is pretty much that £29 loss. And we got more green on the 2-1. Let's see if we can try and hit it. It's Coventry 1, Leicester 1. 85 minutes on the clock. Coventry just taken the lead. Coventry 2, Leicester 1. That's our final target score. We don't have any more target scores after that, so it is time to collect the profits, and it's also fairly late in the match, and we will get that locked in. So that's going to be locked in. Just press it again just to even things out. But anyway, you saw how this match played out, and once again, hats off to the AI with the with the target score formula that it gave us, because it did give us the 1-0 to Leicester as part of the plan B, and we had to use that plan B at half time. We got the equaliser very, very quickly. We were on that 1-1, and then we put all the profits on our new target score of the 2-1, and we've been rewarded late on with this, what looks like to be a winning goal for Coventry. So very nice trade, very textbook, no real drama. £119 locked in. Nice trade. Coventry 2, Leicester 1.
So a good batch of examples to really highlight the importance of having a plan A and plan B in your target score formula. The West Ham Tottenham game being a big example of that. I mean, obviously we made nothing on that, but we did get it wrong. Our plan B was at one point that 1-0 to West Ham. That came in useful, and then we traded our way out of it to the point where, yeah, we just ended up breaking even on it. We obviously called it wrong. West Ham winning that match, for example. But the Coventry Leicester example, if you want to roll the tape back and check it out again, was a very good example of the plan B actually helping to boost our profits, because obviously we had the 1-0 at half time to Leicester, which we traded out. It allowed us to put more green on the green scores, and then we hit that 2-1 nicely, and we couldn't really have done it without the plan B. So some very good examples for you to check out there of incorporating the plan A and the plan B, and it's highly recommended that you want to start getting AI implemented into your football trading. And this is the tool we're using at the moment. It's the football trading Genie, and if you want to get a demo of it, scan the QR code that is on the screen. You can click the link. There are some links in the description of this video which will have much more information. As I said, you could probably get a full demo of this. If it's available, then grab it, because it's not going to be available all the time. And it is basically your own AI-powered football trading assistant. Great bit of kit, priceless as a time saver, and it's brilliant for correct score trading, especially right up my street. So anyway, as said, scan the QR code for more info, or there are links for you to check out in the description of this video. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed checking out this video. We do have more videos for you to check out. There is a video on the screen and it's about to go. So click it very, very quickly. Go grab another nice cold beer, and then I'll see you in the next video.